The number of COVID-19 cases continues to rise exponentially. The South African Revenue Service is now putting preventative restrictions in place. SARS has closed its offices from today until January the 4th next year. The Revenue Service says it will be operating remotely via digital channels. For more on this, I'm joined now by Nathaniel Mabetwa from the South African Revenue Service. Nathaniel, good afternoon to you and welcome. So, effectively a 2-week lockdown. I presume this is at all your offices. Have officers within SARS reported a number of cases?
Jeremy, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to all the viewers as well. Yes, we are going to be closing down all the physical offices, but I just want to mention one thing quickly before I come to your question, that SARS has 4 channels through which taxpayers can interact with us through. So it's the physical channel, which is the branches, it's the call center, it's the e-channels, the e-filing, and that is also available via Mobi app. And it's the new introduction that we've brought in due to COVID, which is the virtual branch office. So there are 4 channels, and what we are saying is that we are not going to make the one out of the 4 available, which is the branch offices, but all the other channels are available to taxpayers, either through call center or through e-channels or even through the virtual office that they can contact us through. To come back to your question, Jeremy, we have not necessarily seen a huge spike in terms of our colleagues being infected. We've had cases, yes, and we have taken all the precautions to make sure that we do not have a situation where our branches become a super spreader area. But we want to be cautious. I mean, the numbers are going up, and it's the most responsible thing for us to do to make sure that with the availability of all the other channels, that we do not necessarily create unnecessary opportunities for this virus to continue to affect.
And that's the responsible way of doing it, and I understand the 4 channels that you've outlined, but I would also put to you that not everyone is well-versed in the technology that you offer, so people are going to be prejudiced one way or another.
Look, the nice thing about it, Jeremy, is that we started with this virtual office and the e-channels at the beginning of this year. So there were a couple of other additional bills that we put onto our electronic platforms. So people during filing season have had an opportunity to use these channels. So it's not like it's something completely new. They've used them before, and we've seen a huge spike in terms of the uptake of these electronic channels. In fact, I want to say to you that when we look at the number of people that walked into our branches last year compared to people that have opted for electronic channels, we've seen upward of 60% migration to the electronic channels. So, you know, there is a move towards that, and I think it's going to take time. I mean, if you talk to anybody else in the financial sector area or industry, they'll tell you that it's taken them years to just migrate people into ATMs and so on and so on. So it's a journey. It's going to take time, but it's one of the things we have to do.
And I do understand that. A final question for you. SARS customs officials, what is the position there, and particularly at a border post like Bridge, where we are reporting today the chaos is continuing?
Yeah, thanks for that question, Jeremy. So even though we are closing all the other offices, we are not closing the border and the customs offices. So customs offices are available, are open and fully operational in all the ports of entry, you know, Bridge and all the other areas. So the message of closing the physical channel excludes the customs offices, because those are available, obviously, in line with what you've just said now. So our officers are there on the ground in all the ports of entry, whether it's at the airport or it's at Bridge or the Bombo, and all the ports of entry, our offices are fully operational.